Hello and welcome to Baten Kaitos, Eternal Wings and the Lost Ocean. This is easily one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Definitely in the top 3. It happens to be made by Monolith Soft and Tricrescendo, so all 3 of my favorite RPGs are Monolith Soft. I guess that says something about my opinion of them. But anyway, let's get started here, because I want to do a 100% run. This is a long 100%, but I've never done it, so yeah.
That spirit seems to like you. If you could bond with it, something wonderful may happen to you. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Though, technically we're playing as the spirit. So I guess me saying, yeah, sure there doesn't really mean much.
Hello? May I ask your name?
Yeah, is Redmond. And just for the record, this game and its prequel, I love them both. They are both in my top 3 favorite RPGs of all time. They have completely different battle systems, and the prequel has significantly better localization, especially in terms of the voice direction. But, I mean, this game, it's got some regrettable voice acting in certain points, but it's still playable, and if you just look at the text, it's pretty good. But yeah, we're a male. Name is Redmond. There we go.
So that's your name.
Yes, it is. Check out the gigantic pencil Callus was using there. The animation in this game also leaves something to be desired. But I mean, hey, it was a GameCube title. Can't hold it to too high a standard. Not to say there weren't GameCube titles with amazing animation, but...
Come, free us from 1,000 years of darkness.
Oh?
A millennium of solitude and suffering.
That sounds pretty bad.
Beautiful white wings for you.
That sounds pretty nice.
For the world, death and destruction.
Yeah, that part doesn't sound so good. Fun fact, if you're going to speedrun a 100% run of this game, it takes 2 weeks. Simply because there's a timer that can't be sped up in any way, shape, or form. Thankfully, I'm not speedrunning this. Well, that actually means it's going to take longer, but whatever. I'm not going to be recording all of the downtime required to get 100%, just the actual gameplay.
Where am I?
In a place.
My head.
Ah, I see you have awakened. How do you feel?
Apparently not great.
Who are you? Why am I here?
My name is Larikush. I'm the village doctor here at Sebelrai. They found you lying unconscious in the woods nearby and brought you here.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. I was attacked by rock cats. man, how stupid of me.
Another thing about the voice acting in this game is you can really hear, like, they were not recording these voices in the best of environments. Like, you can hear the room echo a little bit.
You're lucky they were only rock cats. They are herbivores, after all. It's awfully strange to hear of them attacking humans. The animals in that forest have been acting quite peculiar lately. I'm not sure why, but they're much more aggressive than they used to be. You'd better stay away from those woods. By the way, what do you call yourself? I don't recall seeing you around these parts.
My name's Callus. This is my first time here, which is why I got lost, I guess.
Callus, is it? Welcome to Sebelrai Village, boy. It looks like you took quite a blow to the head, so I was worried you might have amnesia. But you seem to be fine. If you feel up to it, you're welcome to take a look around the village. We're only a small farming community on the frontier, so I'm afraid there isn't that much to see. By the way, I left your winglet over there, by the window. Quite an unusual design for a winglet, I must say. Different from those used by the Empire.
And because this is a video game set in a fantasy setting, empires are always evil. Just for the record.
It was handcrafted by my grandfather. He was an excellent engineer.
Ah, I see. Your grandfather. Very impressive. And how is he doing?
He died 2 years ago.
Is that so? I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, thanks for the help, Doc. I owe you one.
Actually, I'm not the one you should be thanking. Mimai is the one who found you lying in the woods and carried you here.
So you're the one who looked after me, aren't you?
I see. Mimai, is it?
Also, that right there is something you're going to have to get used to. When people in these cutscenes decide to turn around and walk away, they turn on the spot while doing their walking animation and then walk away. Just another one of those parts where the animation could certainly stand to be improved.
Well, that should do it. Let's get going.
And now we have control. Get used to this walking speed. It's what we got. Might as well just talk to everyone. Okay. Oh, I already know about most of these things, but we'll ask about Dr. Larikush. Sure. Okay. All right. Okay. Start button is just the pause. We want to go to some options here. Yeah, voices we'll leave on. Sound output is fine. I was kind of hoping there would be more options for like text speed and whatnot, but I guess not. Oh well. So you'll note that in this game, the backgrounds are pre-rendered. Though they do tack on some 3D objects like the leaves up top there to make it look a little less static.
Hey, what's that thing you've got strapped to your left shoulder? Is that a winglet?
It sure is. Also, it's really weird how sometimes the game decides a conversation's important enough for voicing, and other times it's like, whatever.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'll be. They say the Empire has tons of them, but you rarely see any down here in the boonies. But it looks a little strange.
It's custom built. My grandfather made it for me. I didn't realize it was so rare. Dr. Larry Kush asked me about it too.
Really? The doc asked you? I didn't know he had an interest in winglets. He never struck me as the type that enjoys fiddling with machinery. You've only got the left one on. Is the other one being repaired or something?
No, one is enough. I don't have a left wing, so my grandfather crafted this winglet for me as a replacement.
Oh, I see. That's why. Sorry for meddling.
No problem. It works perfectly fine, and together they get me where I want to go.
Be nice if the
That's good to hear. Your grandfather must have been an excellent engineer.
ducks would shut up.
I mean, a custom-made winglet. Wow!
Yeah, he'd make and fix all sorts of things. You could almost say he was a magician.
So yeah, in this world, people have wings. It's just a thing. Okay, so in order to get 100%, we did have to talk to this lady here. I think we're going to have to talk to her again in a bit. Yeah, I know, it's a save flower. Like, seriously, why did the conversation with the one guy get voicing, but this doesn't, when this is a more important thing? Like, it's actually explaining a very important game mechanic. See, this is one of those RPGs where they try and coach the language of saving and whatnot in actual game world terminology. Also, you may have noticed that text boxes are basically just screens that let you peer through to the game's main logo deal. So depending on where they are on the screen, you can see different parts of it. It's just an interesting little touch. But you see, now he's talking about saving the progress. Couldn't just introduce it as that. But yeah, this screen right here is visible through the text boxes. Anyway, let's go ahead and visit the church, because I believe we're supposed to do that. Probably unlocks the ability to get constellations, I believe. Okay, I guess that's all he says for now. Maybe we get that later. I really do wish we could speed up. That's something they added in the prequel that really helps. So yeah, you level up at blue flowers. But class levels are much more important. No, I'm good. So, something to note about this game. The first time I tried playing it, I actually didn't really get too far, and I didn't super enjoy myself. It's one of those RPGs where at the start, there's not a whole lot you can do in combat, and it doesn't feel great. But then once you start getting farther into the game, you get the ability to do so many more things, and it really opens up the combat system and makes it a blast to play. So there's Mimai down
You're
there.
the one Mimai saved, right?
Yes, I am. And you're the one recording in an echo chamber.
Glad to see you're up and walking around.
Squeak, squeak to you too, Mimai.
Whoa. Is this him? Her? Mimai? Is this who brought me here?
Uh-huh. Mimai's really cool. He's way smarter than all the drunks you see around here, and helpful too.
I see. Well, thanks, Mimai. I owe you one.
And then there's this lady down here.
Are you a traveler too? I came to see the ancient ruins in the woods near here. How about you?
Me? Well,
I have to go. Bye, little guy. See ya, Mimai.
I have a name, you know. C-E-D-R. Cedar.
That's not how you spell cedar, kid.
They're crazy, huh, Mimai? Why bother going all the way down there just to see some stupid old ruins?
I don't know, maybe something of archaeological importance or something.
Nobody in this village will even go near those woods. They say it's cursed or something. I hope they don't get jumped by wild animals out there, like someone else did.
Oh, is that right?
yeah, really.
Little punk.
Ancient ruins in Moongao Forest, eh? Why don't we go have a look ourselves?
Because not time just yet. Because we still got to talk to the mayor, who I'm betting is probably in this house back here. It's been a long time since I played this game, so my memory is going to be a little hazy. All right, they're healed. Never? But if I never go to Moongyle Forest again, then the game can never continue. All right, so now we've talked to him. Let's go back and talk to Maney just to make sure she doesn't say anything new. I just did. All right, so it's later that we need to talk to her. I've got a little flowchart of things that I need to do in order to get 100%, so I'll be referencing that from time to time.
Alrighty. Let's go have a look at Moongal Forest, shall we? I'd like to check out those ancient ruins. The villagers seem to have a fear of the woods, but I think they're making a big deal out of nothing. Mere superstition, I tell you.
Oh.
Hey, relax. You won't catch me off guard this time.
Is that so? All right, so now we go to Moonguile Forest. And you'll note that this is an RPG without any random encounters. It's just got enemies that are sitting in places, and if you can avoid them, you can avoid them, but
Time to party.
if you can't, you fight them. So, this is a card game, and I rather enjoy it. You'll note that different cards have different attack values. We're going to start off with this longsword here because it does more damage. And we're just leaving it at that. So when you're just using one card at a time, things aren't the most interesting. We didn't have any defense cards, so we couldn't really do much. Our hand is really small at the start of the game, so yeah. But that's fine. Green bananas are an attack item, because of course they are, and they're stronger than a short sword. And that target's almost dead, so we're going to short sword this guy twice with the same number, which does give us a damage bonus. So, yeah, the numbers on the cards, they matter. We can use them to get, basically, we can get pairs, we can get straights, we can get any number of things. And you may think, well, since our hand is so small and each card's only got one number, that doesn't mean much, does it? But, in truth, we're going to have things opened up a whole lot more later on. So let's banana this guy and then sword him. And hey, now we finally get a freaking defense item when our only enemy left is dead.
That was a pretty sweet battle.
Was it, though? All right. So, yeah, you get to take Magnus whenever you beat any battle. But you're limited in how many you can take from any given one, and they don't really sell for much for the most part. So this is really just, hey, we got another short sword. The fact that each one has a randomized number can be helpful. That was a treasure chest. Voices are used for, like, taunts and stuff. I don't remember what they do other than... Maybe they boost your damage when you use them? I don't know.
Let's get it on.
Okay, here is one of the most important things in the game. The camera. This is how we get our money. You take pictures of enemies, and we also need to take a picture of every enemy in the game if we want to get 100%. So, yeah.
Hope you're photogenic.
Yeah, selling pictures is the way we get our money. And you'll also note that I don't... Oh, I was a little late on grabbing that. We had a defense item, but I couldn't use it in time. Yeah, we don't have a time limit for selecting things right now, but later on in the game when we class up higher and basically increase our hand size and whatnot, it will add time limits to our selections in battle, so things will, by default, speed up. And that's just to keep us from being able to casually think through everything and exploit the numbers that we've got for stuff. So yeah, the game will definitely increase in pace. Oh, also, rather than just always showing the game's logo in the background of the text bubbles, it'll also show the last hit of your last battle. It only shows the logo if you haven't had a battle since you loaded up the game. Sure. What do you have advice on? I know all of these things, so nothing. Have fun sitting back down, guy.
I'll roll you up.
Okay, so here we've got an elemental damage weapon. Elemental damage in this game is a little interesting in that if you use, say, like, two weapons that have opposite elements, rather than both doing their damage, whichever one is higher will have the lower one subtracted from its total damage. So they can actually cancel each other out, which is, of course, not good. But this right here is a pretty good opener. Should do, yeah, that's some pretty significant damage for the 2 straight. In fact, 2 straight is better than a pair. Yeah. And it's also got plus 30% because this monster's weak to water. Hooray. We'll fight more of these, so it's not a huge deal that we didn't get a photo of it yet. Ooh, a bamboo shoot. Those are nice. So this, we can't get by just yet. So that chest over there is out of our reach right now. How about you, though?
You're dead.
All right, we can banana it in the face and then use a sword. And hey, we've got a camera for the next round. Green bananas are really potent. All right, so you can use attack cards as defense cards, but only for the second attack and onward. So you have to have used a card or thrown away a card beforehand. So like if I started off using an attack card and then used another attack card to defend, that still would have worked. Of course, attack cards don't have great values for defenses. There's a lot to think about in combat in this game. It's really interesting, and I rather like the combat system. It's a great card battler. Ooh, we've got a 2 and a 3. That is super overkill. We probably only needed one of those cards.
Loser.
And for reference, if a battle goes on long enough for it, if you run out of cards in your deck, you lose a turn to shuffling. So that's how shuffling is handled in this game. And nothing down there, though there is a chest down here.
Don't be thinking you can beat me.
And we're just going to fight everything we can because we can. Let's use that 8 and then a 2. Ah, yes, that helmet is special in that it's one of the few defense items that can be used as an attack item.
Is that all you got?
Get used to Callus's voice. I'm really not a fan of his in-combat shoutouts. So we can actually heal ourselves with this bamboo shoot, and we probably should. And let's take a photo of ourselves, too. Because in this game, healing is all done either via in-combat items or via consumables out of combat. Whereas, say, in Baten Kaitos Origins, it just automatically heals you up outside of combat every time. Which is actually really nice of them to do. And I kind of wish that was in this game as well, because using consumables to heal outside of combat is just... it's an annoyance that wasn't really necessary.
Loser.
So, yeah, portraits of characters don't fetch much in terms of gold, but we do need them for completion. Hey, another bamboo shoot. And these things don't just get automatically added to our deck. We are deck capped right now. But we can add stuff if we need to. And you'll also note that these photos, they take time to develop. So that's just another thing that just takes time in this game. You wait for them to be fully developed, and then you can use them, and everything is happy and fun. Also, our bamboo shoots will eventually become like bamboo, which stops healing us and starts being a weapon. So that's another thing to worry about. Okay, that'll kill one of them easy. Yeah, these guys don't have too much HP. And we didn't even need... Well, no, with the ice armor, I think we did need to use the second thing. Okay, now this one's super dead. It's always important to realize about how much damage your opponents do with each attack and use the best defenses you can. Though, admittedly, for defense... Ooh, we got a constellation already. That's good. Those, I believe, are random drops from specific enemy types. So the fact that we already got one is very good.
What was that?
Oop. Sorry, cut him off before he could say that. Ah, here's our first mini-boss type thing.
Leon!
It's you!
Yes, it is me.
Here it comes!
All right, we have got no attack items on Shella, and we can't use voice at the start of a combo. So let's throw away this heat robe because that thing's going to use fire, so defending with fire will not actually reduce the damage. So yeah, there you go. All right, we'll go ahead and use Saber Power Helmet unless we pull something better here. Okay, Power Helmet's just fine. Oh, that's right. Power Helmet doesn't do damage. It's just usable because it's used in combos. Oh, and we got a straight with our defense as well. Oh, but then we had to use another. We actually might have been able to get away without. Yeah, we could have not used the thing, but we couldn't block the fire damage no matter what because we didn't have any water defense items. So, yeah. Let's banana it, and then we'll voice it.
Come and get me!
Oh, it blocked the voice. So yeah, voice adds 5% to the damage of a combo that uses it. Good to know. In this case, it added nothing because 5% of 4 is not a number that counts. So we actually would have been better off not using the voice because then it wouldn't have had something to block with. So let's go ahead and bananas and use that. Though we really need to actually get to a camera before we kill this thing, because if we kill it without using a camera, then we just can't get 100%. And I'm using that, using the light and dark stuff here because light and dark actually does affect the brightness of the environment, which in turn also affects how the photo comes out. So usually in situations like this, it's like better to do like one light spell, but that's it.
Here!
But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it default as long as I can. Can I get a camera, please? It's we've got a 20 card deck on Callus. And the camera is, of course, one of those 20 cards. So we're not like, oh, did our green bananas turn yellow? Or no, those are Shellas. Well, let's go ahead and use some Aqua Burst and some Aqua Burst. That should do some pretty significant damage to this thing, what with it being fire. Thankfully, it shouldn't be lethal, though. Yeah, that's some damage right there. And it looks like it's still doing just fine. It'll actually change its idle animation when it's close to dead. Plus, we can heal it if we want to. So we're not super at risk unless we go from it being totally fine to being dead in one round.
Is that all? Is that all?
Can we please get a camera, though? I think Shella probably also has one. Dance of Light, that can be used only after stuff, I think. And let's toss away this Fire Burst because fire isn't going to do much to a fire monster. And now she's fine health-wise. Callus is similarly fine. Let's just use some short swords. Hope for that camera. Later on, we'll be getting bigger decks and we'll be able to have more cameras in them. So later on, we won't be fishing around quite so much for cameras. There's our camera. And we'll go ahead and not block this last one. I think we'll probably be fine. Yeah, we already blocked everything, so it doesn't matter that we didn't use a defense item. And there's Shella shuffling because she was out of usable cards. So now we get to use our camera and then a longsword to get that sweet, sweet pair. Did 1 extra damage for using that pair.
Is that all?
And we've got the Heat Rogue back. And I don't have anything to block with, so I just won't. And it didn't end up being any worse for that being the case. So now that we've taken a photo, we can make it as light as we freaking want.
Light there!
Way to block both things, jerk. And there's Callus shuffling. Okay, we'll toss that light flare, and we'll toss that light flare, simply because Aqua Burst will do way more damage. And we'll toss the voice. Ooh, he's using his super thing. Really wish I had a defense item for that. Yeah, that's some damage. Well, we can use a 5 and a 6, and that should do pretty well, especially because they're both water. Yep, he is dead. Yeah, Shella has pretty significantly higher damage output than Callus,
That was a pretty
at least at this point in the game. And we've got the Saber Dragon, and it also had a Constellation, but it always drops that because it's a mini-boss.
Not bad. These fangs fetch a handsome price these days.
Graham. Leon.
My, oh my. Look at what we have here. A load of fresh magnets. These could come in handy.
Yeah, watch someone have her friends killed in front of you and then immediately think, hey, we could use their stuff.
Hey! You're stealing their things? They're my friends, you know.
They were your friends. These won't be doing them much good now. We gotta do what we can to survive, right? After all, I don't hear them complaining.
These are not the words you say to someone who just lost their friends.
Besides, I'm not stripping them bare. I'll only take what I need. Catch.
You... Graham's pendant. Leon's bracelet. You want me to give these items to their families to help them remember? Is that it? You know, maybe I...
That's your share of the loot. Enough to shut you up, I hope.
And he just lost all the credit he gained.
What? How could you be so... I won't accept goods stolen from my friends. How insulting to the dead. Hey, wait, don't go.
Why not?
Thank you for saving me. My name is Shella. I'm glad you came when you did.
I didn't fight that thing to save you, Shella. A saber dragon's fangs will fetch me a juicy sum. End of story.
Except we never get to actually sell them and see the money for it. Instead, we just sell the photo we got.
You're from Mira, the city of illusion, aren't you?
How could you tell?
Because you have a guardian spirit with you. I knew as soon as I saw you. It said that only the people of Mira can summon guardian spirits to this world.
You seem to know a lot about guardian spirits.
In ancient times, at the threshold between this world and another, souls from both worlds would meet. Their fates entwined. The visiting soul would become a guardian spirit, yet very few were able to hear a spirit's voice, and those bonded with a guardian spirit would receive great knowledge and power. But I'm surprised. I thought that was just a legend. Some old tale passed around in fireside chats.
Well, there's no way of telling if someone really has a guardian. I wouldn't blame anyone if they thought we were just hallucinating or something. Right?
Except she said she could tell. So, there are a lot of choices like this in the game. And basically, if we choose what Callus wants us to choose in any given situation, like the more we agree with him, the better results are. It makes it more likely for us to, say, pull a card from our deck that will help us in a chain, for example. So we want to agree with him as much as possible for combat benefit.
Huh? Was that voice your guardian? I thought I heard a faint voice in my mind.
You mean you heard his voice?
Wow, really? In Baten Kaitos Origins, rather than just having a blank audio there, they use the pronoun for the gender you chose. So, like, here it would have been, you mean you heard his voice? Even though the text says the name that you chose? I forgot that they just had it blank in this game.
I did. Just barely, though. So, your name is... I'm Shella.
In situations like this, they do have to leave it just blank audio, even in the prequel, but yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Your voice tickles me. It feels strange.
Hey, ever since I woke up at that village, you've been acting kind of funny.
Have I?
That reminds me. Doc Larrycush was worried about amnesia. like I'd hit my head or something. Don't tell me you've lost your memory and forgot everything that happened before that? Is that it?
No, that's not it. It's just that that was literally the start of the game, so there's nothing for me to remember before that. Yeah, don't remember.
What? No way. You've got to be kidding me. What's going on here?
I don't know, man.
Let's talk about this later. This doesn't look like a nice place to chat. I figure you'll remember soon enough.
Maybe.
Hey, Callus. I have to go to the ancient ruins deep in the forest.
Do you?
What about you two?
We're headed that way too. Want to go together?
If you don't mind. But before we leave, could you spare me a minute? Though it pains me to leave you here, my mission cannot wait. Graham, Leon, thank you for everything. Cast light upon the darkened earth. Save those lost in despair. O mighty ocean, guide us as we journey through the darkest pit of night.
What were you...
Callus, we should be going.
Way to explain nothing. After disappearing a couple corpses with a prayer. But yeah, now we've got a party member. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end this episode. Join us next time when we continue deeper into Moonguile Forest. See you then, friends.